Hi guys, Andy N, back in the house as always. Christmas jumper as well, of course. It's got to be done, so I'm going to do two pieces today. Okay, the first piece I'm going to do is from my, well, it's very slowly been written next but one now, full-length poetry book, which can be called Changing Carriages at Birmingham New Street. And this poem is one of the pieces in it that covers the journey between this couple. And it's called, of course, Plain Trumptown cover versions with Freddie Phillips at the edge of Stonehenge. Trumpton, like Camberwick Green, was a mid to late 60s quite classic TV programme for children, and the music's phenomenal in it. And it was done by a guy called Freddie Phillips. Well, this explains why. Wandering through the countryside, whose idea was it to stop a few miles outside Stonehenge and sit there, picnicking acoustic guitars in hand, Sarah, and recreate Freddie Phillips' work on Trumpton? It was never he lived anywhere near there, but you just wanted to sit near Stonehenge with my old cassette recorder laying next to my car, determined to learn a few of his tracks in a slightly slower key. F, you told me, when I stumbled onto E, when we went through the fireman drill, and I started playing Windy Miller's song afterwards, smiling smartly to myself, after realising I'd drunk way too much for you to get much sense out of me by then. Mr. Farthing, Mrs. Honeymoon, Mr. Swallow, I tried to keep up with you stumbling around my fretboard, imagining I was a genius, when in reality I was barely an amateur. Thrust third next to our car in a blanket, looking slowly at the sunset. The past feathered in our heart, counting notes again in the dawn over the nearby fields, music from our childhoods, drawing us both together again, burying our guitars into emotions, our love and Barleycorn. Okay, right, the other piece I'm going to do is, unfortunately, it's not very cheerful one, this, but we had a very funny Christmas time at the moment, anyway, lockdown really. And this is simply called Spectral Ghost Town. Blowing it so along with the cold, you can see the trees outside your window, shaking the colder the temperature got, and the leaves hiding in the shadows, trying to build up the courage to fly like swallows down south. At first light in winter in lockdown, nature is afraid to sleep, whether in fields or by rivers, in a straggle of darkness and fear. As much a prologue to when the coldness really starts. In lockdown in November or December, the air surges forward, bearing the streets into a spectral ghost town, and the woodland paths are deserted and lost the darkness the skies get, mirroring the tension in the news. And out among the trees, the branches linger frost grey, helmed in imaginary ghost stories. Every time you step outside, struggling to find signs of life itself in a broken mirror reflection of what went before. Cheers guys, well, happy Christmas of course. Don't forget to check out Spoken Label, my poet and author podcast series, can be found on all platforms as a Spoken Label. Stay sane.